Let's Greg Grizzly Guide. We're back. We hope you're having a happy day wherever you're watching this video content from. As always, we'd like to thank you for your continued support of Greg Grizzly Guide on social media and writing efforts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, almost 50 questions on writing, about writing, focusing mostly on novels, short stories, and blogging, as well as story development. Let's go. Self-reflection and goals. First subtopic: why do I want to write, and what do I hope to achieve through it? I hope to write every day, and I hope to write well. That's it. What topics or genres am I most passionate about? I don't really believe in genre. I just think it's labels of the same thing. Again, I believe in strong stories, strong characters, and strong pacing and writing with a purpose at all times. Who is my target audience, and how can I connect with them? My target audience is me. If I connect with me with the story, that's enough, because I assume that other people will agree with me. I don't really write for people. Again, a road to disappointment. Oh no, not everyone likes my story. Oh no, everyone hates my story. That's again a road to giving up and stopping writing. What are my biggest strengths as a writer? I'm really good at everything as a writer. I put a lot of time in it. I'm 50 years old. I've been writing a long time. So yeah, my biggest strength is that I write consistently every day, and I write really well. That's why I do it. What areas of my writing need the most improvement? I don't have any weaknesses as a writer. Sorry. I work really hard to make sure that I do not. How do I define success as a writer? That I wrote every day and I did my best. Again, everything else is, a road to disappointment and feeling bad about it. And I see a lot of people who do that. That's not me. I write every day, 365, 366 in a leap year, and I do the best that I can. And I hope people appreciate that. If they don't, that's on them. What inspires me to write, and how can I tap into that inspiration more often? My inspiration to write is me, because I wanted to be remembered on some level as more than just Craig. So if people in the future, even one person remembers, hey, that guy can write, I wonder where he is now, 200 years later, probably dead. That's too bad. But yeah, I write to be remembered on some level, and I write to do something and try to be a little bit more in my life. How do I handle criticism or feedback on my writing? I got trolled early. I've been rolled by hundreds, if not thousands of people for any number of reasons. I care zero. As always, I say thank you for the money, and I go on. The people who really do care about me and have something to say, of course, I take their criticism or feedback to heart, and I look to see if I agree. And if I do, I change something. And if I don't, again, I leave it as it is. What habits or routines can I develop to write more consistently? Write every day, read every day, and focus on being positive. Those are really difficult for many people in life, sadly. How do I measure my progress as a writer? Daily. I wrote today, that's enough. I'll write tomorrow, I assume, and I wrote yesterday. That's enough for me. I'm not into word counts. I'm not into number of books. I'm not into sales. I'm not into number of reviews. I write my progress that I look to see or have as I wrote. Next subtopic: craft and technique. How can I make my characters more relatable and multi-dimensional? I look for real life examples. Nobody's generally interesting enough to carry a full book as a standalone character, so I take a little bit of this person I know, a little bit of that person, and I combine them and twist them and add my own creative spin, and that really creates fun and interesting characters that I am interested in learning more about, and that's what I write to achieve. What techniques can I use to create vivid and immersive settings? I go outside a lot. I walk around. I look at a lot of social media. I read a lot. I watch my friends' Facebook pages and people on X who travel here in Japan, for example, and I'm interested in what they're seeing or taking photos of or talking about, and I take some of that. And again, I take a little of this, a little of that, and I try to create some new and engaging setting that I would like to visit, and I write about that. If it's interesting to me, I think it's interesting to other people, because I don't find my views way out there. How can I improve the pacing of my stories or essay? Strong stories, strong characters, and strong plan of attack while writing. If pacing is a problem, generally you have failed in one of those three areas. So I would go back to the beginning, make sure my story is strong, make sure my characters are strong, and make sure it's something engaging that I'm truly interested in writing about. Let's see here. What strategies can I use to make stronger dialogue? I listen to a lot of people. I read a lot. I watch a lot of YouTube content, and especially with people who are not my age or not male, and I want to know how they're speaking. Yeah, careful listening and development in that. I make it realistic. So that's not hard, particularly. How can I make my writing more concise and impactful? I'm big on clear, concise writing. I take out everything in the writing that should not be on the page, and I make no apologies for that. I'm not big on verbose writing and style because I think it dilutes and distracts from strong characters, strong core plot, and pacing. Yeah, don't do that. What are the common cliches in my genre, and how can I avoid them? I don't know. I don't write cliches very often unless it's intentional, because I believe my writing is original and unique. So I like that. How can I develop a unique voice or style in my writing? I develop strong ideas, strong stories, strong characters, and I write what I know, and I write things that I'm passionate about writing, or I don't. What role does structure play in my writing, and how can I refine it? I use a basic structure. I introduce characters, story, and plot, some exciting incident, spend some amount of words in the middle, screwing all that up, and then I make some conclusion to a satisfactory point in the third part. 1, 2, 3. Shakespeare did it. I'm not better than him. So if it ain't broke, there's a cliche. Don't fix it. Creativity and idea generation. How can I overcome writer's block when it strikes? Again, I never have that. Sorry. If the story is strong, the characters are strong, and you're passionate about what you write, it comes. Of course, there might be a moment where I'm thinking, what shall I do? But it better be momentary. If it's like some day long, week long, or God forbid, year long block where I couldn't come up with an idea, I would stop the story, throw it in the trash, and do something else. Yeah, don't waste time on losers. What strategies can I use to generate fresh ideas for stories or articles? Use your imagination. If you can't, there are lots of AI generators for stories and prompts now. If you need that to get going, hey, dozo, go ahead. How can I draw inspiration from my everyday life? Be passionate about the people in your life, friends, family, strangers, and yourself. And again, nobody is generally interesting enough to carry a full story as a character. So you take a little of this, take a little of that. I often say, man, if that girl was only more beautiful, if he was only taller, if he was only faster, if he was only nicer, and make a more interesting composite kind of character. What books or movies or experience have influenced your writing the most? Probably soap operas. I loved Young and the Restless, an American CBS network show. I believe it's still on, like thousands and thousands of episodes. I like the pacing. I like the dynamic characters, and I like when things happen and twists and turns. So I guess that's my major influence. I know you're looking for something deeper, but my major influence truly is the soap opera genre. So there's that. And my life is kind of like a soap opera at time. So it's most befitting of my style if I have one. How can I experiment with different genres or styles to expand my skills? I write about ideas, strong characters, and strong stories. So I don't really dabble in genres. I'm sure I slap labels on something for a market. I wrote lesbian gay stories. I've written sci-fi. I've written, I guess, B movie kind of things, just slapping labels, to be honest, to get that kind of niche crowd to read more things. I mean, writing for everybody is a quick path to writing for nobody. What questions can I ask myself to deepen my storylines? What if? That's a Stephen King kind of thing. I ask, am I interested in this story? Am I interested in this person? Is it believable? Is it something that I can take forward as a writer? Is it something that I would read? I mean, it's not rocket science. If I'm interested in it, I assume other people will be too. And if they're not, hey, I'm totally wrong. How can I use prompts or exercises to spark creativity? I don't do that a lot when I sit down to write. I do it a lot when I'm not at the computer, standing on a train. I look at people and go, wonder what their life is like. I wonder where they're from. I wonder where they're going to eat. I wonder how their life is going. Creativity. If you're not creative, I don't really know why you write fiction. Sorry. I know it seems kind of negative and like pompous, but I'm a creative person, so I write. It's not difficult. If I struggled to be creative in music or art or writing, I would find something else to do. It's not, first of all, you're never going to be good enough to make any money. And second, it's just going to bring you down and put you in some state where you hate it. So yeah, I'm a creative dude. What can I tell you? Be creative. If you want to be creative, be original. What role does research play in my writing? How can I improve it? I research a little about an area, maybe culturally, but I don't go deep in that. Again, I try to take like fiction and step back. Like if I'm writing about Japan, it's a morphed kind of Japan thing because I don't like to knock Japan or promote Japan in an inauthentic way, a dystopian kind of view, perhaps, but it works for me. Yeah, I don't research a lot. I research a lot on grammar, making sure I'm spelling things right, making sure my grammar is perfect. And maybe I research about writing techniques or how to describe something. Maybe like what's a good way, and then I change and add a unique angle to that. So there's that. Yeah, I research much more about the fundamentals of good, clear writing than I do about what to put in a story. That's my job. I'm the writer. I'm the author. That's my job. How can I use brainstorming or mind mapping to organize my ideas? You could write a word and make little lines and connect it if that's your thing. I generally don't try to do that because I think it stifles creativity, because once it's done, you feel like you have to go in a direction. I try to be really flexible as a writer and an author. So maybe I have some general idea where a story is going or what a character is going to do, but I'm flexible enough. If it's not working, I can pivot and change. I don't like to get locked into too many things. And if you do that, and eventually the story kind of writes itself because you've done a good job setting up the story, the inciting incident, and the characters. It's not difficult. I know that's not what you want to hear, maybe, as you like, please help me with writing, but it's a good story is not difficult to write. What can I learn from other writers who I admire? They missed that on their question. They should really edit their questions. Admire their tenacity, admire their success, admire that they work hard, admire that they have talent, and realize that they are not you. You have to be you. But yeah, I admire a lot of people. I appreciate what people do, the greats and regular people. And I appreciate the people who continue to write, who have sold 0 books, because there's 0 reason for them to keep continuing on. And I'm disappointed on some level when people find some modicum of success and they give up long before they really have started, which is a shame, because I think they could have been much more, but that's them, not me. So for me, I keep going because I can. I'm fortunate to have enough time and talent and energy and effort and motivation to do it. So I do. Editing and revision. How can I approach editing without feeling overwhelmed? I don't believe in editing. I believe in better writing. I never consider it editing. I consider it writing better. Yeah, if I have to edit, it means I screwed up the first time. It means my writing was poor, so I write better. Editing, I mean, proofreading and editing, that's dumb. I just write. I write as strongly as I can, and I only write 1 draft. Yeah. What are the most common mistakes I make after my first drafts? I don't write first drafts. I write 1 draft. So that draft is the draft I should have written from the beginning, that I was not talented, smart enough, or hardworking enough to get. Yeah, drafting. I've seen people. I beta read and edit and proofread and all that for people often, and I get like, this is my 17th draft. Like, okay, 17th drafts that have been through 75 beta readers. Okay. I mean, is that you at some point writing, or your friends and family and other people? I don't know. How can I identify and eliminate unnecessary words or phrases? I read out loud. I use Google Translate with the audio to listen, and it helps me. And again, I cut out so much anyway that generally I don't. Although these days I'm trying to write in a little more flowing style just for some fun. If it's on the page, it should be there. At least I believe it should be. And if it's not, then it shouldn't be, and I took it out. So yeah, it's yes or no. Yes, no. Yes, no, maybe, I guess. But yeah, it's not hard because my style lends itself to direct, concise writing. And I think that clear writing is good writing. And clear writing means the words that you should have are on the page. So yeah, I don't really sweat that too much. What are tools or techniques I can use to improve my grammar style? Grammarly, there's a million apps, and some of them are AI, and people get bent out of shape. If that stuff helps me write clearly without errors, I'm all for it. And people can quibble later how much of that is me or them. I'm an upper level person with word choice and grammar. So if I can use Grammarly to find some squirrel because I can't type while I'm drinking highball and writing, hey, I guess there's a zillion apps. That's a stupid question. How can I ensure my writing flows smoothly from one idea to the next? Again, if you want a basic, the first sentence, the last sentence, the next sentence, point to point to point, in a logical A to B progression. Putting it down, I guess, if you struggle with that, and picking it up a day or 2 or a week later helps. And I guess. But good writing flows from clear writing. If your writing and ideas are clear, the writing will be clear. So again, if you struggle with that, probably something in that process has gone awry. How can I make my opening sentences more compelling? Keep writing until you like it, and then write again. Yeah, don't sweat that too much. I mean, it's never going to be perfect. Write something that grabs you. If other people say it grabs them, then you got a good one. If people say that sentence sucks, then maybe I'd reconsider. Generally, the first sentence, it is important, especially for marketing and selling books. But if you like it and you think it's the best you can do, leave it at that. What strategies can I use to strengthen my endings? Understand that your ending that you want and the ending that people might want might be different, and you find some middle ground there if you hope to get a lot of readers, especially if you're like, I want to kill everybody off and leave it sad. And people are like, well, I've had kind of friends who are like, wow, that's so sad. I don't really like that. And maybe I perk it up slightly. And other times it's been really happy to say, oh, I think she should have died. That person shouldn't have died. I don't really care what the audience wants or thinks, but my close friends and reading community who might have something to say, maybe I throw them a bone and give that for them. How can I balance self-editing with seeking external feedback? I do all I can in editing, proofreading, if you want to call it that, in writing. And then when I feel like I've exhausted the limits of my time, energy, motivation, and talent, I give it to people who I appreciate and people who are good at such things, and I see what they have to say. But generally, they say very little because I really make a full and complete effort in my reading. Most people need the beta readers, no offense, the alpha readers, the proofreaders, and the editors, because they are just lazy. And I do it, and I'm not calling those people lazy. There's a point and a moment for that for almost everyone. But like, oh, I slapped it down on the page, someone else fix it. That's, in my view, not really writing. Sorry. Do a little more, be a little more proud of the work that you put in before you go asking, please fix it, which I get a lot. I can't do anymore, please fix it, right? Advice and mentorship is different, but like throwing me some 50,000 word novel or mini novel, or I guess novella, and say, please, I look at all the right, or the people that are worse. Well, I'm not really looking to improve my grammar and writing and proofreading at this point. Really? I mean, that should always be goal. A high goal to improve those things. Yeah, later. I'll do the grammar and proofreading and that later. Oh, good. How can I learn to let go of parts of my writing that don't serve the story? There's a delete backspace button on my computer. Use it judiciously. Yeah, don't be afraid to delete. It's not a crime. And replace, so there's three things that happen: great writing, so-so writing, and bad writing. Take out all the bad writing and improve the so-so writing, and you have a great piece of prose. The last part here, professional growth. How can I build a portfolio that showcases my best work? Write a lot, get a free blog, build an author page. Medium is free. There's a Substack my good buddy Bill Adler uses. So, put it out there and see what people have to say. And if they are positive, keep writing that way. And if they're not, think about it and write your way. What steps can I take to get published or share my writing with a wider audience? Social media like this, I do it because I want people to engage my writing, of course, and I try to help them from a free community standpoint. You can publish on a free blog, which I do. WordPress is completely free. Bells and whistles are not. Medium is generally free. I post on Twitter, small excerpts. I post on Amazon.com for the KDH, the Kindle program for writers, which is still generally free. I haven't looked at it in a while. So get it out there and see what people have to say and take your chances. It's a lottery ticket. No book is bad. No blog is bad. No writing is bad of any degree. No social media is bad. But how much all of that happens if I have social media, I have a blog, I have books, and I have something like Amazon or another platform where people are sharing it. It's a lottery ticket. Really, it is. Whether you're going to be, I've seen great writers with little social media do great things, and I've seen so-so writers with wonderful social media get way ahead, and I've seen people in the muddled middle who just kind of tread water and never really, they do enough to keep writing, but never enough to quite make it. And why that is, there's a zillion reasons: talent, energy, effort, marketing, money. It happens. How can I network with other writers to join a writing community? First, you can join me on Craig Hoffman 11 on X, formerly Twitter. I'm really active in retweeting and sharing and interacting with the community there on a variety of topics: Japan, Japanese food, writing, social media, and such. So you can do that. There's a lot of people who follow me there that you can engage as well. You got to put yourself out there. Be the first one to reach out, because people aren't coming from you. You're not remotely talented or special enough for that. Sorry. What writing workshops, courses, or resources can help me grow like this? A real writer who writes a lot, who for no other reason than he enjoys talking about writing and wants to help you. And of course, you can talk to people to your specific situations. There's beta reader groups that you can join, writing groups, book clubs. But I mean, it's not hard. You have to seek it out. People are not coming to help you. If you need that much help, again, question, if you need a lot of help, why are you writing? Have realistic goals of that. But if you're truly dedicated to writing and promotion and all that comes with that as a writer, whether even as a professional, a freelancer, or even a casual writer who just enjoys it as a hobby, there are a number of resources that you can look up. Type in, I want to be a better writer. What shall I do? I wouldn't go spending a lot of money on all that unless you have those kind of resources. But hey, if you have extra money, knock yourself out. If you want to give me money to help you, thanks. Last question. How can I stay motivated during long or challenging projects? Break it up. Look at the next word, the next sentence, the next paragraph, the next page. And if it is too much, stop, reevaluate, take a break, come back. Don't just stop. Stop with a purpose. Continue with the purpose. And the final thing I'll say here, it doesn't mean today I have every answer. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything that I did. These are 45 questions because I typed in AI 50 questions about writing, and even AI struggled to come up with 50. Apparently, they're not talented enough to come up with 50 questions. Isn't that a shame? Again, as I say in chess and a lot of these video contents that I put out there, you have to believe in you when nobody else does. You have to surround yourself with people who believe in you to some degree, who are talented people, who also have dreams, and who also put in the time, energy, and effort like you do. And be quick to push away people who are negative, who aren't looking to build dreams, only bring people down. And be honest enough with yourself that when people do have a criticism or some sort of negative thing to say, perhaps on some level, whether they put that in a way that you enjoy, they might be right. And then look at yourself and be authentic, be original, and most of all, be you. That's it. Until next time, as always, enjoy your life.